5 years, 43 cars, one Olympic-sized ranking video. Which of these cars will take home the gold? In the 2024 rankings of Speed Champions cars. If you enjoy this content, consider joining the other 8,000 subscribers of this channel. Now let's get started. First, I'll introduce you to all 43 cars. Second, I'll explain my ranking criteria. And third, it'll be off to the races with the rankings. And now let's take a look at our lineup. In 2020, LEGO released 7 cars, which includes the Nissan GT-R Nismo, the Ferrari F8 Tributo, the Audi Sport Quattro S1, the Panasonic Jaguar Formula E Gen 2, the Jaguar I-Pace E-Trophy, the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo Evo, and the Lamborghini Urus STX. In 2021, LEGO produced 9 cars, which include the Toyota GR Supra, the McLaren Elva, the Koenigsegg Jesko, the Dodge Challenger Trans Am, Chevrolet Corvette C8R, Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, the Ford GT Heritage Edition, and the Ford Bronco R. Wait, let's not forget about the Mopar Dodge SRT Top Fuel Dragster. In 2022, we got 9 cars as well, which include the Lamborghini Countach, the Mercedes-AMG F1 W12 E-Performance, the Mercedes-AMG Project One, the Ferrari 512M, the Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro, the Aston Martin Vantage GT3, the Lotus Evija, James Bond's Aston Martin DB5, and Dominic Toretto's Dodge Charger. In 2023, LEGO produced 6 cars, which include the Pagani Utopia, Brian's Nissan Skyline GTR, the Ferrari 812 Competizione, the McLaren F1 LM, the McLaren Solus GT, and the Porsche 963. And finally, in 2024, LEGO produced a whopping 12 cars, which include the Ferrari F40, the NASCAR Next Gen Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, the Audi S1 e-tron Quattro, the BMW M4 GT3, the BMW M Hybrid V8, the Ford Mustang Dark Horse, the McLaren Formula One MCL60, the Aston Martin Formula One AMR 23, the Aston Martin Vantage Safety Car, the Lamborghini V12 Vision GT, the Mercedes-AMG SL63, and finally, the Mercedes-AMG G63. Before crossing the finish line, the cars will go through 3 major categories of grading criteria, which include aesthetics, function, and build. The aesthetics category includes displayability, accuracy to the real car, and decorative details. That's your prints versus stickers. The function category includes structural stability, playability, and fun factor. And lastly, the build category includes unique LEGO elements, interesting building techniques, and level of details. Now that we've got that out of the way,
Gentlemen, start your engine!
ranking at number 43, which is last place, is the McLaren Elva. LEGO probably should have gone with an 8-stud wide rebirth of the McLaren 720S from 2017, but instead they chose this. The parts used for the taillights, exhaust tips, and engine cover are all good choices. One con to point out is the floppy door sections, and you're reminded about this every time you go and pick this car up. Their choice to print the seatback covers instead of the McLaren logo or any other exterior detail was a bit questionable, and there still remains to be something missing from this car. Ranking at number 42 is the Lamborghini Urus STX. It was the first super SUV of the world and the first SUV in the Speed Champions LEGO theme. Playability is good. The car has reduced friction, holding you back from driving around due to the design of the axles. Displayability is not as good. The wheels and tires are way too big. There are no special prints, and the build wasn't really that exciting, to be honest. It's not really a vehicle that I would showcase. And where's the back window? The steering is not centered with the driver, and I've yet to figure out what to do with the abundance of space in the back. I guess it's nice though. Ranking number 41 is the Jaguar I-Pace E-Trophy. P41 is not going to get you a trophy, but the Medium Azure is easy on the eye. Not as easy on the eye are the stickers. The colors of them are not a great match. And by not a great match, I mean they're terrible. This is not so good on aesthetics in my opinion, but it does have good structural stability, as this is literally built up with bricks. And you can kind of see that with the wall right behind the driver. My favorite part of the vehicle are these modified plates with a slide on the bottom to represent side skirts. Ranking at number 40 is the Formula E Panasonic Jaguar Racing Gen 2 car. It's the one and only Formula E car in the theme. There's no prints, all stickers, but at least our minifigure got a print with a smiling face. As with the I-Pace E-Trophy, it has a nice color combination. Playability is good, but desirability not so much. Fans really want more F1 cars. Coming in at number 39 is the Toyota GR Supra. It was very welcoming to get Japanese cars into the theme, and they're still rare to this day in LEGO form. That being said, the Supra lacks excitement when it comes to aesthetics, especially from the front end. The way the stickers are done up with the headlights across multiple pieces doesn't give it a good look. And in fact, my favorite look of the car is from the back. And we get a couple of 1x1 printed pieces back there. This car has low ground clearance, but it's tiled over underneath so it can glide easily over carpeted surfaces. The steering is off-centered with the driver, as that was a common issue to the theme back then. In general, the fun factor is there, but a few upgrades would help this car out a lot, such as trans black windows. Ranking at number 38 is the NASCAR Next Generation Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. It's been 5 years since we had NASCAR represented in the Speed Champions theme, and here's what it looked like 5 years ago. The wheel covers that are used are the same as before, and though the build has obviously improved, I expected the evolution to be a bit more substantial. Not many know where this car exists in reality, not even NASCAR fans. And the Speed Champions theme is all about realism, so I don't think this is a very strong representation of NASCAR. And what's with the colors? Aesthetics is not its strong point, but it does provide good playability. The interior details are amazing at that. And whatever is printed here is good, such as the American flag on the 3x3 round tile, and the headlights and Chevy logo printed on the side of plates. Ranking at number 37 is the 1969 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. It's the only vintage Vette in the theme, and the only dark red colored car. It's a great sturdy build, and could have easily been tiled over completely if you replaced the 1x6 plate with a 1x6 tile. Perhaps LEGO just kept it as a plate, just to remind us that this is a LEGO car. All decals used are done with stickers. There are no prints on the car, and we really could have used some kind of metallic finish for the bumpers. I take that back. We do have printed elements for the wheel covers, and they look pretty good, though the tires' sidewalls are way too thin. In general, it's a very clean looking car, though it's a little bit simplistic. Next on the list is the 1970 Ferrari 512M. The shaping is pretty good, except for the width of the canopy. It needed to be much wider. The print on the canopy is good, and we also get Ferrari logos printed on the side of 1x1 plates. Really don't have much bad to say about it. It's pretty good in all three of my grading categories. And here's the Angry Bee in the rankings for the first time. This is the Mopar Dodge SRT Top Fuel Dragster. The Dragster is so unique to the theme that I didn't even include it in my previous rankings video. But the followers of this channel demanded I do. The LEGO model is amazingly accurate, the shaping and level of detail is incredible, the canopy is the only printed part, but the sticker details are excellent and provide realism. The best part of the build is definitely, by far, the engine. So much detail packed into it. This is the most detailed engine of any Speed Champions car. The wing supports look fantastic as well. The only negative comment I have are the small tires being used in the back. But fortunately, being that LEGO produces more tires than any automaker in the world, we have many other sizes to choose from that will scale better. Ranking at number 34 is the Fast and Furious 1970 Dom's Dodge Charger. The introduction of movie cars to the theme boasted a lot of excitement from fans, especially coming from the original Fast and Furious movie. The inclusion of Vin Diesel is awesome. No kids, that's not The Rock. The ramp piece in black was a real good part choice to provide a gradual slope and a very clean, unbroken look, whereas the rest of the car, the roof, the hood, and the sides are broken up a lot by plates and tiles. That's why I did some mods to clean up this mess. Also gave it functioning doors, chrome accents, an improved driver's seat, how the driver's situated, and of course an oversized NOS bottle. Yeah, perhaps that's a little bit too big. At number 33 is the one and only Lotus. It's the Lotus Evija, and it's a great way to get some earth green colored parts. Of course, you don't want to break up this beautiful car unless you have an extra copy. The headlights are done with prints, though the taillights are brick built. Brick built and a clever build at that. Also, a spoiler was recolored in earth green and used upside down here to represent a spoiler, though I'm not a big fan of that look. The yellow striping used throughout provides a visual interest. Both the window pieces are printed, though the yellow line on this one should have been a lot lower. In general, this car is pretty solid all around, but not outstanding. At number 32 is the Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro. This car is very unique and very long. The wheel span is longer than most, and what's also unique is the build experience. There's no preformed chassis piece in this one. The canopy, wheel covers, and headlights are all printed. It shares a common issue with other Speed Champions cars for the fact that the wheels are way too small. There also shouldn't be black fenders. Those don't exist on a real car. I feel like they needed to add some more detail to the black tiling to provide more interest on the sides. And it still amazes me how you can fit two minifigures inside. Ranked 31 is the Lamborghini V12 Vision GT. The Vision GT is unique in many ways. It was inspired by a video game, and only one exists in real life. You can check it out on Supercar Blondie's channel, as I believe this minifigure represents her. What also makes this car unique is its primarily olive green color. Its color scheme is refreshing, actually. And the size of this car is much smaller than most in the theme, but it's still packed with great detail. And because of its small size, it scales nicely with minifigures than most cars in the theme. It looks amazing throughout, great prints, the geometries and shaping are intriguing, but it's definitely on the fragile side, parts get moved around, and it's not great for play. There's absolutely no ground clearance. If you push down on this ever so slightly, it'll scrape your table. I'm digging the gold wheels and printed wheel covers though. Now brace yourselves for what you're about to see. This is how the driver sits, or rather lays down. Yeah, you'll definitely want to display Supercar Blondie outside of the car, as it provides a much better look. I also didn't agree with the red color of the brackets used in the rear wing. I switched them out to black and did some custom mods on the back, and I think that looks better from the front as well. Do we have any real challengers here? Well, here's one. We've got the 1970 Dodge Challenger Trans Am. Not too many cars can pull off a good look in purple, but this 1970 American muscle car did just that. The Challenger has many unconventional building techniques to achieve a very nice look, which includes underneath the front and back bumpers. In fact, the whole car is impressively smooth. These two plates could have easily been tiled over. Its recessed headlights and taillights are nicely framed up, and that's probably my favorite thing about this car. However, instead of the light gray, they really needed to use some silver metallic elements to provide a chrome look. Safety is not always first on this channel, and that's the way it is in the rankings as well. Coming in at number 29 is the Aston Martin safety car. It's odd to me that an F1 safety car is here in the rankings and that this exists, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful car. Still don't think it was the right color choice to reflect the realism of what this represents, but can't complain about having a second Vantage in the theme. Though building techniques are copied off of the Vantage GT3, I feel like this is an improved version with the use of newer LEGO elements. That being said, the GT3 car is still cooler with a higher fun factor. Stickers are usually frowned upon, but in this case, it's actually a good thing that all of the safety car references are done on stickers. So essentially what you could do is remove all of the stickers or leave them off when you're building it, and this becomes a nice looking street car. The G-Wagon is an odd inclusion in the Speed Champions theme. It's the biggest and heaviest of any vehicle. Well, I would expect the Ferrari truck from 2015 to outweigh this, I think. Though I do love the use of the gunmetal gray throughout, like the striping on the sides, the grille in the front, it tends to all blend in with this all-black color scheme. I don't think black was the best color to use. Even the windows are tinted more than usual with the new trans black color. The headlights, Mercedes logo, and the AMG badge on the side are all done with prints. Everything in the back is stickered up. The chrome exhaust tips are a nice touch, as well as the spacious interior. You've got 4 full-size chairs and room for cargo. The build experience was like no other, but the aesthetics don't quite receive top marks from me. We've got the ride height being way too low, the hood proportions being off, and the wheels sticking out way too far. Off-roading vehicles are very rare in the theme, and this one is the most rugged. The Ford Bronco R doesn't get any printed elements, but there's a lot of other good stuff going on. The accuracy, for example. Just look at the real thing and compare it to the LEGO model and tell me it does not look like this. The ground clearance is good. The size of the tires and wheels are good. We get red wheels. That's always good. 2 extra ones, in fact. And this thing is packed with good detail. We've got a blue brush guard up front. And check out all of the roll cage details. There's a lot going on in there. Needless to say, but I'll say it anyway, the fun factor is definitely there. The Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo Evo sports a lot of gold highlights to contrast its all-black color. The windscreen is printed, but that's it. Everything else is done up with stickers, and there are a lot of them. My least favorite part is the use of these 2 large elongated slopes. The transition from the windscreen to those slopes isn't all that good. For that fact, and the fact that there's so many stickers, and we have the problem with the off-center steering, the aesthetics are a little bit lacking in my opinion. This car was part of the 2020 Speed Champions lineup. Of course, there's been 4 years of development from then until now, and a larger library of LEGO elements, so this car could shape up to be a lot better. If I shattered anybody's dreams about having these 3 vehicles in the bottom of the rankings, well, just let me have it in the comments section. But now, moving on to number 25. At number 25 is the Mercedes-AMG W12 Formula One car. As you would expect, this car sits low to the ground for improved downforce. Rain tires are equipped, as indicated by the blue Pirellis printed on the sidewalls. The steering for the car is a game controller that's unprinted. Bending this tube element to create the halo of the car was a great idea. We've got a printed Mercedes logo up front, some printed tiling right here to represent the air intake. The common complaint with this design is that the driver sits a little bit too high for that halo. And there are extra pieces as part of the set to swap over the numbers, to essentially swap the car from Hamilton's number 44 to Bottas's number 77. I love the printed canopy of the Chevrolet Corvette C8R, as well as the engine detail showing through the back window. The car relies heavily on stickers for its details. The shaping is the biggest issue I have with this though. The front hood should come to a point right here, and there needed to be larger side air intakes here. That little sticker with the black line is just not cutting it for me. The gaps around the fenders are another issue. In general, this is a really cool car, but needs some body work. The Mercedes-AMG SL63 is the first proper convertible in the theme. I don't think we can count the Elva, because it's rather stuck without a top. The interior is awesome, one of the best. 3 minifigures can sit inside. There's some nice prints for the headlights, Mercedes logo, as well as other elements up front, and of course the taillights. This car gets top marks in the fun factor subcategory. Look, even the hood opens. Now let's just keep that closed. Not really digging the look of the hood. They sacrificed looks for the function of being able to open it. So therefore, the hood is the weakest point. And that's why I modded mine to make it look smoother. At number 22 is the Ford Mustang Dark Horse. It's the third Mustang in the theme, and the first one since the Mustang Fastback in 2018. We were really due for a dark blue. It's an interesting build and overall a good look. I especially like the look of the front end and the back as well. There's minimal sticker usage throughout, and overall it's a very clean look. Even on the interior, it's pretty nicely decorated, though you can't see very well through this trans black window. There you go, looks nice there. Seats look good. Really needed a dash though. Don't get me wrong though, I do really like the trans black windows over the old trans brown ones. That includes the rear quarter window and the back as well. Ranking at number 21 is the Ferrari F8 Tributo. I was a bit too harsh with this car, ranking it 26 out of 30 last year, and I've been hearing about it ever since. I previously said that the canopy doesn't close all the way because the minifigure doesn't sit down far enough, but some of these cars, what you have to do is push down on their front legs. It's best with a brick separator because your fingers are too big to push down. And if you attach the legs and they're flat, the canopy does close pretty well. That canopy piece is printed, as well as some 1x1 plates with the Ferrari logo. And then there's some tiling throughout with some black printing. Being released in 2020, I'm sure we would have seen great improvements if this was released today. Overall, this is a very well-rounded Speed Champions car. Though I'm happy with how the back window is built up, would have liked to have seen some engine detail showing through. In 2023, Pagani joined the Speed Champions family with the introduction of the Utopia. Honestly, I don't dig the all dark gray color scheme as it blends way too much in with other cars. Prints do outnumber stickers here, as we can see a couple in the back there, and there's good part usage throughout, including these 4 doors used to make up the shaping in the back. However, the back end flops around and is insecure. Thankfully, there's an easy fix by using 2 of these cheese slopes in dark gray. Just attach it to those tan plates rather. Put it back in, and Robert is your auntie's husband. The wheels and tires now come as one piece, giving the tire a very low profile, and I like the silver lip that's going around on the wheel. The interior of this car is really nice as well. Who would have expected we'd get 007 in Lego form? Well, we did, with James Bond's Aston Martin DB5. Though this car is not equipped with any weapons or gadgets, it does have a license to thrill. The interior has reclining seats and a bench seat in the back. Though there's no room to sit in the back, you can certainly use it to place the bad guy you just knocked out. A lot of interesting curved elements are used to give it its proper shape. The headlights, the grille in the front, and the taillights in the back are all printed, as well as that uniquely shaped canopy piece for the back window. The wheel caps are great too, and metallic elements are used where they should be. Overall, this car is as smooth as Bond. My biggest complaints are the color mismatch of the gray stickers and the lack of columns supporting the roof. Ranked at number 18 is the Aston Martin Vantage GT3. There are lime green accents throughout, giving the GT3 visual interest. Unconventional building techniques are used to capture the unique styling of the taillights. Printed elements are used for the headlights, the canopy, and the Aston Martin logo here in the back. Overall, it's a very fun car, but perhaps there's too many studs exposed and too many stickers. At number 17 is the one and only Koenigsegg in the family. This is the Koenigsegg Jesko. The shaping is pretty incredible here. I really love the deep air intakes on the sides there. The aerodynamic features in the front are good as well, with the use of a lime green cleaver, and that was pretty clever. The build for the long and huge spoiler is pretty awesome. Also, I like the part usage for the exhaust port. That's an engine element, and next to it is a printed 1x1 plate with Jesko on it. There's a lot of good detail throughout, but we really needed that print on the canopy to extend all the way at the top. Certainly more prints would have been welcomed here. The Mercedes-AMG Project One has advanced building techniques and interesting part usage. I like the use of the two fenders on the hood. The windscreen, the headlights, and the AMG lettering on the front grille are all printed. But then we get to the stickers. The stickers really ruin the car. It's best to leave most of them off. And whatever is brick build is done really nicely. The car receives an A in the build category, but a D in the decorative details subcategory. D for do not apply stickers. The 1985 Audi Quattro S1 certainly stands out in the crowd, and it's the second rally car in the theme, following the Ford Fiesta. It's also the second car to have white wheels. This car is easier than most to translate into Lego because of its boxy shape. The printed elements on the car include the hood and a wedge plate on either side. The configuration of the driver is less than optimal, but that's really the only negative thing I have to say about this. It has fun written all over it, and it's great for display and play alike. The Nissan GT-R Nismo R35 Skyline is the winner of the 2020 lineup and is ranked number 14 on the overall list. It has striking graphics throughout. Most are done with stickers, though the hood is a print. It does share the common problem about having small wheels, but overall is a very exciting car and looks good from all angles. It looks fast too, especially with this forward rake. The McLaren Solus GT is ranked at number 13, and it has a very interesting build to capture its exotic looks. Its build may be the most unique of any car in the theme. Overall, the shaping and accuracy is really good, but the driver looks way too small for this large 9-stud wide car. Parts are always getting misaligned or falling off completely when you go to pick this car up. BMW rolls onto the Speed Champions scene in 2024. This is the BMW M Hybrid V8. It's very colorful, and it was a good way to introduce BMW to the theme. Interesting building techniques are an understatement, and overall shaping and accuracy is great. The steering wheel for the car utilizes a game controller that's printed. The tire/wheel piece is reused from the F1 car, which is the treadless version of tire. Overall, this has a very smooth look, but way too many stickers. The Porsche 963 has a new canopy piece that was introduced in 2023 to accurately capture the shaping of the car. Advanced building techniques are used throughout. I love the build for the spoiler and the rear diffuser, and the way that the taillights are sandwiched in between an assortment of black elements. Good part usage for the headlights, but the abundance of stickers and the breaks between all of the stickers is the car's major flaw. Things are really starting to heat up as we enter the top 10. At number 10 is the Ferrari 812 Competizione. Though the Speed Champions theme has a lot of Ferraris, 15 in total if you count the truck, and they've all been red, at least we have a wide stripe going down the center of this one in yellow. The canopy, the headlights, the taillights all have prints, but probably the best prints in this set are the Ferrari logos on the headrests. There's great part usage here, with the stud shooters representing the exhaust tips, and it's very sleek and smooth looking, especially from the top. The weak points are the overly copied use of brackets and quarter-round tiles to produce the mirrors, and also the fact that there's a lot of stickers. Ranked in the 9th position is the Lamborghini Countach. The build for the Countach is incredible, especially the back end. The inlets up here are done really well. The slanted front end looks spot on, and you can even see a suggestion of turn signals underneath the transparent bricks. It's too bad the windscreen doesn't have enough white paint applied to it, and the knock-a-duck is not the right shape. That's why I fixed it on my custom highway patrol car. We've got some great wheel prints here, and overall, this is a great car to have in the Speed Champions theme. And it's the highest ranking car from the 2022 lineup. Ranked at number 8 is the Too Fast, Too Furious Nissan Skyline R34. This car is instantly recognizable to any car fan. The figure is great, and the fun factor is off the charts. I mean, this car is equipped with 3 NOS bottles. 1x2 trans blue plates are used on the underside to represent the neon lights, and the iconic taillights are done extremely well. Special wheel covers were designed for this car, and this was the first time that we'd see printing on the fender piece. It's nice that Brian fits into the car with his hairpiece on. Another nice print is the GTR logo here on the front, and this is the weakest part of the car, by far. It's the hood. It's rough, literally and metaphorically. Though I do like how the striping is done. That's very smooth. And in general, this car is one of my favorite in the theme. Ranking highest out of the 2021 lineup is the Ford GT Heritage Edition. The Midi Mazur in orange color combination is an eye catcher. The shaping of the air ducts and all of the aerodynamic features are incredible. Though too much air underneath the front will cause it to flop around. There's some unsightly gaps around the front fenders and around the rear window as well. That rear window really needed to be bigger, but I do appreciate the little bit of engine detail that's there. By the way, here's the 4 GTs that were previously made in the Speed Champions theme. These were released in 2016, the second year of the theme. The printed elements on this one includes the canopy and the headlights. Overall, love the shaping, love the colors, and a great car to have. The highest ranking car of the 2023 lineup and the previous winner in this ranking system, this is the McLaren F1 LM. Just like the 720S in 6-stud wide form, the orange color McLaren stands out in the crowd in a good way. Its shaping is excellent and is one of the most showcaseable cars in the theme. Prints are done for the McLaren name in the front, the canopy, and also some plates here in the back. From the top, it's very smooth looking, and if these studs on the sides or in the back here bother you, you can easily tile them over. In reality, you can only fit one figure inside, but there really is a suggested 3-seat arrangement to match the real car. Interesting part usage includes an orange colored oar there on the side. Now, its major flaws are the structural instability, mainly in the front end here. This tends to get loosened up and fall off, and then the sides flop around. And now for the top 5. These are all cars from the 2024 lineup, by the way. Ranking at number 5 is the Aston Martin Formula One AMR 23. This would pretty much be a tie between the two Formula One cars, but the McLaren is victorious because of its color accuracies over the Aston Martin. These F1 cars have amazing details, and this time they have slick tires. The Pirelli printing this time is on the sidewall of the tire itself rather than using a wheel insert. These cars are very good for display, but they're fun to play with as well, but do expect parts to move around or fall off. Ranking at number 4 is the McLaren Formula One MCL 60. Again, this is another great car, and it definitely deserves the number 4 spot. Taking home the bronze in this ranking is the Audi S1 e-tron Quattro. This all-electric, all-wheel drive car was driven by the late Ken Block, and his driving was so entertaining to watch. The color scheme going on here is one of my favorite in the theme, and not just because it matches my favorite college football team. This car really stands out with the metallic-like prints throughout. The number of prints exceeds the stickers in the front and in the back as well. All of the prints in this set are really good, including the wheel covers. We also get some interesting parts, such as red wheels as part of that wheel-tire combination piece, and also a dark gray snowboard. The mirrors are interestingly built, and the interior is really cool too. How they included a large e-brake, per the Hoonigan car that Ken drove. Placed at number 2 is the BMW M4 GT3. Just like the M Hybrid V8, this car has an interesting color scheme to match it, and to say this car has interesting building techniques doesn't do it justice. The level of detail is great throughout, from the build-up headlights, the build-up taillights, got the slick tires, even have branding on the underside of the spoiler. The exhaust feature is a nice touch. We even have fuel ports on both sides of the car. Everything's built up really nicely, and that includes the interior. Take a look at it. We got an upside-down game controller used for the steering wheel. There are quite a bit of stickers throughout, and that's its major con, but we do get a itty-bitty BMW logo printed on the side of a plate in the back. Taking home the gold in the 2024 rankings of Speed Champions cars is the Ferrari F40. The F40 is arguably the most aesthetically pleasing car in the theme. Its accuracy and attention to detail at this scale is incredible. Though the prints are subtle, they are there, and this is the first time we receive a print for the rear quarter window. The new fender pieces from 2023 allowed a smoother tiled over look without excessive height buildup. Also in 2024, they fixed the issue with the off-centered steering. The interior is finished up more nicely than most cars in the theme. And my favorite view is from the back, where engine details can be seen through the back window. And I love the build execution of the taillight section. The red robot arms holding the spoons to make up the mirrors was a nice touch. The biggest complaint of the car is the absence of light covers here in the front. By the way, this is the previous iteration of the F40 in the Speed Champions theme from 2019. Let me know what you think about the F40 being in the top spot for this year. If you had another car in mind that made your top pick, let me know. I'd like to hear. That wraps up this year's rankings video. Thanks for watching.